how the buoyancy forces lead to convection, and how a boundary layer develops around a vertical surface, right? So if the surface is hot, then you upward movement. If surface is cold, then you have a downward movement. Okay. This will be mirror image of the inverted image of what we have now. If it's a cold surface, right? So we saw that how this flow is characterized using a Grashof number. Grashof number classifies. It's analogous to your similar to your Reynolds number in a force convection. Right? The Grashof number is used to classify the flow, whether it is whether the flow is turbulent or laminar. Okay. So this we have seen, but surfaces are not always vertical, right? Free convection need not, the surface, one surface which is exposed to free convection need not be vertical always. There can be other situations also. So let's see what kind of situations will be there, how those things are analyzed. So natural convection for a surface, suppose you have a horizontal plane, not vertical. The plate is horizontal. So here what happens? The buoyancy force is a normal. Now the force will be acting normal to the plate, not a parallel. The previous case when plate was vertical, the buoyancy force was parallel to the plate. In the when the plate is horizontal, the buoyancy force will be normal to the plate. Flow and heat transfer depend on whether the plate is heated or cooled. You can have a cold surface or a hot surface. Whether it is facing upward or downward, right? Whether hot surface is facing upward or downward. All these conditions will decide how the convection will happen, right? So let's for this the let us say if there is a hot surface, right, which is facing upward. The here the assumption is the bottom is insulated, right? I assume that the bottom surface is insulated. So then what happens? Only hot upward facing surface is exposed to air. This is insulated, so no interaction with the still air. So when this still air comes in contact with this hot surface facing upward, so there will be convection currents set up like this, right? So like this vortexes will form. So there will be the convection currents will be set up. Circular motions will happen like this, and this will cause the convection, right? So similarly, if a surface, cold surface can be facing the downward, right? That is also possible. So if hot surface is facing upward or cold surface is facing downward, the process will be similar, right? So hot surface facing upward or a cold surface facing downwards. In both cases, the equations are similar. So for that, you can go to data handbook. Here, page number hot surface. Yeah, it's here. So if you see hot plate, upper surface heated or a lower surface cooled, then equations are same. Whether it is hot surface upward facing or a cold surface downward facing, either case the equation is same. So you have a set of equations here. Nusselt number, this is average Nusselt number, is equal to 0.54 into Grashof number into Prandtl number to the power 0.25. Right? For this is valid for the product of Grashof number and the Prandtl number, this is known as Rayleigh's number. For this range, it is valid. Okay. For other range, another set of equation. Right. So like this, whether a hot surface facing upward or a cold surface facing downward, either case, same set of equations will be used, right? So this is a one situation where you can use. These are all empirical equations which are available in data handbook. The derivation and all you need not bother. Only depending on the problem you have to identify. So once you identify, use the appropriate equation from the data handbook and solve the problems. Okay. So similarly, you can have another case where a hot surface facing downward. Previous case what we saw was hot surface facing upward. Now there can be other situation where a hot surface is facing downward. This is also possible. Okay, or cold surface facing upward. Previous case we saw, the previous slide we saw a cold surface facing downward. Here is exactly opposite. Hot surface facing downward and cold surface facing upward. Right? These two are similar, right? So same set of equations are used for this. So if you see here, so if you see if a hot surface is facing downward, then what happens? The fluid that comes in contact with hot surface becomes hot and its density decreases. Since its density is less than the surrounding air, this air will try to escape like this. It will rise and leave the hot surface. So this will lead to a convection current setting up here. So this convection current causes the heat transfer, right? Similarly, if you take a cold surface facing upward, if a cold surface is facing upward, so what happens? Air or liquid, any fluid that comes in contact with the surface, its temperature decreases. When temperature decreases, its density increases. So when the density increases, this fluid will try to sink, right? So when it tries to sink, it flows like this downward. When it leaves, this space will try to the surrounding air will try to occupy this space, and a convection current will set in this fashion. Okay, so this will lead to these two are similar, right? This is a hot surface facing downward, and this is cold surface facing upward. So the convection currents, the kind of convection current that happens there, the fluid dynamics is similar, right? Therefore, the set of equations used for these two conditions are same, right? So here the surface temperature is more than the surrounding temperature, T infinity. Here surface temperature is less than the surrounding temperature, right? So in this case, if you go to data handbook once again, so we saw hot surface per plate. You go to next page here. Here, yeah. So 2.1.2 upper surface cold or a lower surface heated. So for a constant wall temperature, okay, both these equations are valid for constant wall temperature. These are not for constant heat flux. For constant heat flux, a different set of equations will be there. Okay, so this is for a condition of constant wall temperature. So if you take this here, so the equation is available here. So Nusselt number, average Nusselt number is equal to 0.27 into GRPR. GRPR is Rayleigh's number. Okay, into to the power 0.25. Okay, this is valid for this Rayleigh number range for 10 to the 5 to 10 to the power 5 to 10 to the power 11. Okay, so these are like this. You can make use of the different equations that are available in the data handbook and try to calculate solve the problems. Okay, so similarly, say, suppose there is a constant heat flux, then the equations are different here. They are listed here. Okay, horizontal plate, heated surface up, subjected to a constant heat flux. Then you have heated surface down, constant heat flux. Okay, like this, there are different set of equations. Okay, so like this, there are different equations are available. You can make use of these equations and try to solve them. If it is inclined surface, then the equation will be given here. Okay, so inclined plates, heated surface facing down, a constant heat flux. This is for a constant heat flux. Okay, like this. So like this, you have to make use of different equations that are given in data handbook and try to solve the problems, right? So these equations are summarized here. So if it is vertical plate, right? Vertical plate for a range of Rayleigh's number. So what are the equations? These are all available in data handbook. Maybe there will be slight variation in the data what is given. This is taken from book and that is from data and book. The slight minor differences may be there. That will not affect much. Okay, the calculations. So here, suppose if there is an inclined wall. So use for this what it says here is you have to use the same equations as here, but you have to calculate a Grashof number. You have to replace Grashof number by the G has to be replaced by G cos theta. Okay, this angle. While calculating Grashof number, then you substitute the G by G cos theta. If you do that, then you will get this and make use of the same vertical surface equations, right? So like this, there are a lot of various equations are given here. Then they are summarized here. These equations are available in a data handbook. Okay. So for this, you can refer Sengil or heat transfer by Holman. Either of the books you can refer to, right? So here, these problems, there are set of problems are there. So there are few problems. Okay, try to solve these problems. Okay, try to solve these problems on your own. Okay, maybe if you are not able to solve these problems, we'll try to solve the problems maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll let you know. Okay, so I'll just discuss this first one. See, there is a vertical plate of cross section area. Sorry, plate area is given 4 by 6 wide is maintained at 60 degrees Celsius. That means the surface temperature is given. Exposed to atmospheric air temperature T infinity is given. Calculate the heat transfer from both sides of the plate. So both sides means area you have to double it. Okay, 4 into, well, calculate. First you have to find out H. Okay, when you multiply area has to be 4 into 6 into 2, because twice both sides heat transfer happens. Okay, so like that you have to calculate the heat transfer coefficient at the end. So for this it's a vertical plate. So for vertical plate you have to if you go to the data handbook. So equations are available for vertical plate in the data handbook. First calculate the Rayleigh number, and so if you see here the Nusselt number equation is given. Okay, so if you take this Nusselt number equation, depending on the case, first calculate Rayleigh number, and then you can go for the calculation of Nusselt number. So once you calculate Nusselt number, then you can use this here. First you have to find out the Nusselt number at a full total length L. Okay, then for average Nusselt number you have to use this equation 4 by 3 Nusselt number at L is 4 by 3 into Nusselt number L. That gives you the average Nusselt number. So once you find Nusselt number HL by K, so use that equation and find out the heat transfer coefficient. Once you find the heat transfer coefficient, you can use the heat transfer coefficient H to calculate the heat transfer. That is Q is equal to H into A into temperature difference. Okay, so here temperature difference is known. Only thing is you have to find out the H by finding out the Nusselt number. Okay, so this problem today I will not solve. Not prepared for this. So I thought I can only give introduction today and finish it. So if you are able to solve this first problem, solve it, because this solution I have not prepared in my PPT. So tomorrow I will keep that solution ready and show it to you. You also simultaneously meantime try to solve this problem. If you have any difficulties, we can discuss later. So now we will have some discussion and wind up the session. Okay. There is some question is there. Okay.